Do not get caught buying a fake Dragon Ball card from Fusion World this year. Let's dive in. As you guys can see on AliExpress here, you guys can see all kinds of different cards from Dragon Ball, energy markers, even masters. Now they're starting to make a lot of these fakes or replica cards. I noticed a Broly collector was sharing this PSA 10 Broly 2-star that is up for auction actually right now as we speak. I believe there's about 53 minutes left on it. But one of the things that he saw is that he thought the card was fake. So I went down this rabbit hole, and I gotta say, guys, to me it looks fake, but I want to get your thoughts on what you guys think based on all these snapshots and all these things that I see wrong with this card. I believe that Broly collector that I mentioned in my video, I believe he actually reached out to this guy. He's like, oh no, you know, it's a PSA 10, it's real. So I don't want to open up this whole can of worms, but I think I am probably going to open up this can of worms with this card, because it kind of does look a little sus to me. So let's look at some of the pictures that this guy posted on the website. So here on eBay, you can see that he has some pretty good pictures. He's got the slab here, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger here. But as you guys can see, here's the whole slab. It's a PSA slab, PSA 10. It's got the cert and everything. I looked up the cert. I went to the site and everything. So, but this person actually posted every single thing on the listing. They even had a cover for it and everything. They even have the listing here on PSA or the cert. And you can see here what pop it is. You can see the PSA report. But here's the thing where it gets a little bit weird. PSA doesn't really take consistent pictures. And I'm going to show you guys another Broly here. Another 2-star Broly. And it doesn't even look the same. So here's another cert, another Broly, and you can see that the picture quality is way different. But remember, this is on the website, and I can show you guys here in a second. Right here, I'm on PSA website right now. I'm gonna hit refresh, and you can see that this is the website. This is PSA website, and you can see that the image is so whitewashed, and I've actually been editing and I've been doing photography for over 10 years, and I'm very familiar with highlights, brightness, curves, all kinds of different shadows, and just kind of really breaking down images. I mean, this is what I literally do for a living. And so there was just a few things that I kind of found a little off from comparing other different photos and other Broly 2 stars to this one photo and the photo that this guy actually provides on his listing. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the listing, and you can see that they posted the cover, they posted the PSA pop report, they took a picture of the back, you can see the corners and everything. Now I want you guys to think about something when you guys are looking at some of these cards. Before you guys go out there and start buying cards, I highly suggest that if you guys are going for 2 stars or a little bit more of a higher rarity card, that you guys go start seeing at other listings, other cards, other slabs. So let's say another Becca 10 of this card, a PSA one, a tag one, a CGC one. Go look at other cards and start familiarizing yourself to cards and see if you see something that's a little off about them. So for example, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the first thing that I noticed about this image that I thought was a little off. I did conduct some polls or voting polls over on my Instagram account. They thought that this card was actually real. Some people thought that it was fake, and there's some things that you can tell that it might be a fake. Now at the end of the day, it looks like it's a PSA 10. If PSA says that it's a 10, I guess it's a 10. So, but this is what I think about this card. At first I was like, okay, maybe this guy, he probably put it on some kind of AI tool or something, because one, the text on the right side is gibberish. Usually it says Bandai, and it says something else on here. So you can tell because if I show you guys another image of another PSA 10, this is a whole different slab, and I'm gonna put them up side by side. So this one on the right is gonna be a whole nother cert, and you can see on the right side it says Bandai made in Japan. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up, and you guys can see that that's what it says. I think what this guy did is that somehow I don't know, he maybe put it in some kind of AI tool or something, and it kind of messed it up. I don't know, it looks kind of weird to me, but it happened twice. He put it over here and it looks like gibberish, and then you can see it on this other whole different image and it looks like it's gibberish too, like with and without that cover. So yeah, with that cover you can still see it here. So that doesn't even say made in Japan, so that was like red flag number one for me. He did posted this photo, and he did post the back and everything. So if you guys look at the one on the right is real, that card is real. The one on the left is this PSA 10, and you can see that the text looks thinner on the right side, and look at the word saying, it's a little bit thinner than the one on the left. So I made a joke about how if the text is too thick or if it's got a BBL, then it's most likely fake, because usually Fusion World text font is a little bit on the thinner side. And one other thing that I kind of noticed about that slab as well is I thought if you look at the B, if you look at the circles inside, they look a lot smaller than the circles inside the B on the right side of Broly. And it looks a little bit wider. The R looks thinner. Also, the B just looks different to me, and the R seems thicker and way bigger on the left from that PSA 10 that's up for sale right now. That to me, it kind of like was a little sus, because it just looks different to me. I don't know what it is, but it's just different. Also, some people were telling me like, well, Leo, you know, there's all kinds of different angles of photography, and like, you know, the light might be different. Okay, let's just say that I'm wrong about this. Let's just say that, okay, that looks the same, right? Let's just say that looks the same. For whatever reason, these two texts, font sizes and thickness and style, they're the same. Whatever. Let's just go with that, right? But let's move on to something else. Now, before I move on to something else, I want to show you guys some listings on AliExpress that are pretty much fakes, right? These are replicas of the 2 stars. They got replicas of these 2 stars. They got the Goku, the manga one. They got the SBO one. They got these, this one by the one that we're looking at, Broly, which is FBO6. And then we have all kinds of other fakes, but there's a whole set where you can literally get them for like maybe about $10, and you can get them all. But here's what's I think interesting about this one is that the text on these is pretty thick as well. Now, this one you can kind of tell a little bit right away that it is a fake. But here's the thing that they do wrong, and you can even see Bandai here, made in Japan, is all like weird, like it's not clear enough. The other thing that they do with these cards or these replicas, you got to look at the texture of the card. The texture and the wavy lines head into a certain direction, and it never changes for all the legitimate cards out there. So let me give you guys an example again. So I want to pull up another photo for you guys to see even more up close. So the one on the far left is the slab that we're looking at right now, the eBay listing that's about to end. Then we have the second one here, this second corner here. The second card here is the PSA 10 that's legit. This one is real for sure. And this one is a raw copy. Now, I get it. They all have different lighting situations. For example, this one, they must have boosted the color, not the hues, but like the contrast a little bit, the colors, the highlights. Also, it's got a little bit more of a different angle of lighting. But there's a reason why I wanted to show you guys what the raw looks like, what a PSA 10 looks like that's legit, and this far left PSA 10 that is in question right now, that I thought looked different to me. So here is this one, as you guys can see on the top left corner, right? Like you can see that there's texture around this area of these replica AliExpress cards. So to me, that's already a red flag. I'm gonna go back to the pop report again, guys. This image right here is from there. Like, I'm not even making this up. Look, take a look at this. And people are saying I'm making this up. I'm not. This is from PSA website. Do you guys see that there's texture there? That's the snapshot that I took right here on the far left. So this is that slab that we're talking about. And this is another PSA 10 cert or slab. But look at the difference. If you guys look at this lighting condition on the far right side, right here in this whole area here on that corner, there is no texture. This is raw and there's no texture. The texture starts here below the green inside the box. So it starts and then it goes into the hairline. It goes around this area and it just kind of goes below that. But right above that corner, or this whole white area, is all flat. It's smooth. There is no ridges there. There's no wave lines there. Now I want you guys to look at one more thing. This is another one, the PSA 10 one. There is no ridges here. There's no lines. And then people are telling me, well, Leo, you know, it's the lighting angle. Well, if it was the lighting angle, then how come all these other lines that are heading in all different directions, right? Facing down, facing up, going to the left, going to the right, going from left to right, going from top to bottom. How come you're able to see all these ridges and all these shadows, but you can't see the ridges on this top left-hand corner? It's because there is no wavelengths here. There's no wave lines here. There's no texture here. This is smooth. But look at this PSA 10 on the far left. That's already graded. How come? And people are saying, oh, well, you know, because of the angle of the light. No, the angle of the light obviously didn't show any ridges here, and all of these different lines are heading in different directions. Even the gold stamps are all facing in different directions, and they have shadows. But this one, they're like, oh, well, you know, it's the lighting. It's the lighting. Okay. Well, the lighting is obviously showing me that there's wave lines and ridges or texture heading in different directions, including the top left. So how come this one doesn't have any ridges on the top left, but this one does? How come the raw one with all this lighting in different directions only does not have any ridge lines on the top left? Is because the authentic card does not have any ridge lines on the top left. Actually, around every corner, I believe. It doesn't have any ridge lines. So that, to me, was already a second red flag. Alright, so I want you guys to notice something about every single one of these Brolys. Specifically the one on the far left. Look at this one, and this one. What do you guys see differently from every single one of these? Let me know in the comments. But you guys can see, like, is it just me that I'm seeing this? I just think that's weird. But yeah, so there's obviously something missing here, right, on the far left one. And I just think that this PSA 10 is a little sus to me. There is something that was missing on this card as well, and I'm going to show you guys here in a second. One thing that the authentic Brolys or 2-stars do have, they have this strip right here, where it says Saiyan, and there's these lines that protrude or that raise that create a shadow. And so if anything over here is creating a shadow, that's fine. But the thing is that the shadow continues all the way to the end. You can see a line right here, and you can see a line over here, and you can see a line here. But over here, you only see one very minimal line below Saiyan, but there's no line across over here that ends over here. Is not over here on the stamp, or it doesn't go across the stamp. It's nowhere else. It's only here. So to me, that looks like, depending on the light direction, that seems like it only created a shadow here. But how come it didn't create it all the way? How come it didn't create it all the rest of the way? So there is a box that's missing on this PSA 10 here that this PSA 10 has. That's just another thing that I noticed that was a little off to me. And then also, there's a shadow behind G4. G4 has a shadow over here. And then that G looks kind of weird to me. That doesn't look right. And then you can see that G is way cleaner, is very, very well centered. And then there's no ridges inside that little pentagon. And you can see over here they added ridges, or there's ridges inside that pentagon. So to me, this doesn't look right to me. So, but once again, I'm just gonna put it out there. And of course, this video is for you guys to make sure that you guys don't get scammed buying fakes, because that, to me, that I wouldn't even bid on that card. That to me is like way off. Even if it's a PSA 10, and some people say like, oh, you know, if it's a PSA 10 or even a Beckett, or you know what, I'll even say it. You guys know I like tag. Even if I see a tag card inside that doesn't look right to me, it doesn't mean I'm gonna buy it. Like, it doesn't mean you're actually gonna buy the card. Like, would you spend thousands of dollars on a fake? You know it's fake, it looks fake to you, but you're gonna spend 1,300 euros, $1,500 or whatever, 1,400, whatever that is in USD. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't, right? So I just want to make sure that you guys understand what these cards entail. So there's another one that's going around, and definitely people have bought energy markers, guys. Energy markers that are fake. Like, to me, that's insane. All right, so let's start pulling up cards that I do feel like they look real to me. So this Goku energy marker, it looks right to me. And the way that you're going to be able to tell is you're able to tell because these cards, to me, it looks like the texture looks like cellulite. Like, if it looks like cellulite, it's good. That means that it has all these little bumps or whatever. It has all these things right here. Like, if it's cellulite, it's right. So that's energy markers, okay, guys? Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some energy markers that are fake. So let's go ahead and hopefully actually find that card here that matches that card. So I want you guys to look at the one on the left, which is a fake, a replica, and look at the one on the right. It's E48 Alt Art or gold energy marker, and you can tell that the one on the right does not look like the one on the left. And people are literally paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for these cards on eBay. I've seen some sales of some fake gold energy markers, and I'm like, bruh, if it has these ridges, right? Like, you see these wavy lines? The wavy lines go all the way across. Like, the rest of the stuff, it even looks off to me. The colors don't even match. As far as the text goes, the energy marker does have a little bit of a slightly thicker text because it has a black background, and I believe it does go and bleed into the edges. So that one, it doesn't apply to the Broly one. That's why you got to look at every card differently, and you got to see what you're looking at. Also, another thing that they did do over on these gold energy markers is they added this like almost like a light color type of space around the text, and you can see that, you know, it's different. And look at the one on the left. It doesn't even have that white border or that light color border. It's just straight stamped on the gold energy marker. So this is how you can tell on energy markers whether you're buying a real one or not. And the back one, look at the back on those, and look at the back on this one. Now, like I said, they must have manipulated, they must have boosted a little bit of the contrast, so even saturation, contrast and saturation on this card, but it doesn't look too crazy as long as the front looks right. Most likely this card is right. But guys, every time that you guys are buying cards, and I'm gonna mention this in this video, is if you're buying on eBay, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, you know, send the seller a message like, hey, can I see a video of it? Can you send a few more pictures? Can you kind of hit it with a light a little bit more? And if they don't want to like send that stuff and they want to ignore you, then, you know, it is what it is, right? Even if it's a good deal, remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So don't get upset if they don't respond to you or whatever. That's fine. Like, they're just gonna want someone to just pay for the card, and they don't want to deal with anybody. So, but yeah, as you guys can see, look at the back on the fake ones. It looks almost like reddish, super orange. The Dragon Ball orange like goes, you can, there's a division between that yellow and that red or orange, dark orange. But on the real ones, the Dragon Ball ones over here, you can see that it's almost like a really good transition between yellow and orange and then to red. This one is like, it goes straight from yellow straight to dark orange. So you can tell the difference between both. And as you guys train your eyes a little bit more, and you guys start seeing more listings and more cards, and you guys hold it in your hands, and you guys are looking at cards, you guys are gonna be able to tell what's real and what's not. So another thing that I do want to say is that when you guys are buying cards, especially like, let's say Facebook Marketplace, or you guys are on Instagram and people are sending you pictures and things like that, make sure you guys ask for videos. Ask other people in the community, like, hey, what do you think about this photo, or what do you think about this card? Do you think it's real? Does it look right to you? And that's the thing about growing in this community, right? You want to be able to reach out to other people and figure out whether whatever it is that you're buying is real or not. But yeah, just be careful out there, guys. There's so many fakes out there, and you definitely don't want to catch yourself buying something that's fake, and you're spending thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars on these cards. But if you guys go to these proxy cards on AliExpress, they're making cards for even serialized cards, guys. And as you guys know, serialized cards, they look nice. There's one more mention that I wanted to make, because a lot of you guys are really like big Gogeta fans, and I want to make this part of the video as one of my last cards that I want to go over. But I thought it was like really interesting because I was like, wow, like that card actually looks a little decent. Because for example, remember when I told you guys, you know, if it's got a BBL text, right, it's probably fake. But this one has a thinner text. So these guys are getting a little smarter. They're actually getting a little bit better, but there's still some things that are a little off. But this one is the 2-star FB09 card. And I just kind of wanted to end it with this card because a lot of you guys are Gogeta fans, and don't get scammed buying this card, guys, because I just seen this one being posted in a group, and I was like, okay. I was like, they actually brought down the thickness of the edges of almost as like this like fence looking type of gold stamp. They made that thinner. It used to be really thick, and now it's thinner. So they're getting a little bit better, but they're still sloppy, and there's still some things that they cannot replicate. And there's one thing on this card that kind of gave it away for me. So when I looked at this card, I was like, okay, you know, usually the gold stamp looks like this, right? But this is why, guys, go study cards. Go look at the new sets. Make sure you guys go look at new cards. So this is part of a new card right here. So I want to show you guys where Goku is, his face right here. And I want you guys to see what the difference. So the one on the right here is a real one. The one on the left is a fake one. The gold stamp, guys, is different. This is the first time that Fusion World actually changed the design of the gold stamp text. Maybe they did it for that reason. Maybe because there's replicas out there and people are starting to cash on how to actually do it. But look at this. Look at this beautiful type of gold stamp. If you didn't know, if you just saw this card, I mean, come on, guys. You guys would probably be like, oh, wow, that's a nice card. I'll probably buy it, right? That looks kind of real to me. But you can see how in this one, the ridges, or there's a circular type of design, almost like droplets, like a pond or something, of like a circle gold stamp. And it follows the same angles and everything in the same design, but the texture is way different than this 2-star. So this one's gonna be your real one, and this one's gonna be your fake one. So once again, guys, make sure you guys are careful. Make sure you guys check out one of the rest of the videos that are around my screen to help you get started with Fusion World and start your card collection journey. I know I learned a lot of things in this video myself and as I was doing this research. But anyways, I hope you guys all have a great day. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.